What's up guys, Arizu here. Today I bring you my thought process behind the mechanics Darklit Dragonsong and Crystallize time. As a disclaimer again, this is using quick one strat, so it may be different to what you're doing right now. And this is not a complete guide, as it's more so like things that I look out for that help me with the mechanic. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it, but let's not waste time and vamonos. For Darklit Dragonsong, before the mechanic starts, we're gonna do the light rampant conga line. Nowadays they have changed it. Instead of having range 1, range 2, melee 1, melee 2, they have range 2, range 1, melee 1, melee 2. The first part, this is a priority list, if that makes sense. I'm gonna check like if I'm tethered. Firstly, if I'm not tethered, I'm gonna go beta Protean. Well, as I'm near that Protean spot, I'm gonna check the water stack if I get it, and if I need to adjust. You get a debuff if you get a chain, and if you don't get a chain, you don't get a chain right here as a debuff. And we're gonna see like I like personally looking at this mechanic like a half and see like if I need to cross it or not, but like that's on me. Let's keep looking at this mechanic right now. We're gonna see that I'm going to get chain. So chain, you already know that you're gonna go towards one of the towers, either south or north, right? Primarily south because your DPS, but in case you need to adjust, you will make the adjustment necessary. So right here we see that we have the bow tie. Basically you're done, you don't have to do anything. If for example we have the Vox right here, TF right now has the northwest, which is usually the healer. It could be the other tank 1, if both tanks are taking the tether. It's like, oh, east side and these two people flex, and then it's like, oh, hourglass, it's northeast, southwest, that's switch. So right here we see that the bow tie is already done. We just go take the tower. People are making adjustments if necessary. Right here and right now, we know the water is on 2 supports right here. It's on both of them. It's up to the one water that doesn't have the chain to move, because the chain basically, they cannot adjust. They need to keep the chain at a certain distance so it doesn't break. So in this case, the Astro needs to move. They're already on their bait spot, and they just need to make the small adjustment of changing water. You can do it right here, right before the mechanic happens, and you already basically solved the water stacks being on 2 different spots. And as for my co-melee, the only thing they needed to do was like, okay, I don't have a chain, I go in, and basically just wait there, right? But if, for example, my co-melee right here had the water, they had the water and they had the water, they haven't crossed this middle line, basically meaning that both waters are split from each other, because you want to have one water on north, one water on south, right? And you need 4 people in it. 4 people being, you know, the 2 people that are baiting the Proteans, and the other 2 people in the towers. So with that out of the way, let's continue a little bit, and we're gonna see that they're gonna solve the Proteans, and at the same time Spirit Taker is solving it. I like going a little bit further away, like around basically where I'm standing right here. I mean, you could go over here, it's fine, but I mean, for me personally, like, since the hitbox is a little bit big, I can just go like away from like this area, because I don't want to clip my melee. And on the other side, north people over here, the supports, they cannot get closer, or actually farther away from the middle of the arena, because the crystal exists over here. You don't want to hit the crystal with said Spirit Taker. So basically what I'm doing right now is basically giving more breathing room for my other person at north with the tether. And at the same time, this melee can go a little bit up if they want to, and the support can go a little bit down if they want to. I would say like it's recommended to, you know, move away. If, you know, it's also like if you have disengagement tools, just go out to the wall, like, you know, take the downtime. Like, it is what it is. Like, this mechanic doesn't require like a tight DPS check, but I mean, it's still nice that we have like extra damage just in case someone dies or something goes wrong. But if you can disengage the boss completely, it's better, you know. Just let the boss go away, and then we adjust the HPs if necessary. In this case, let's continue. We're gonna be seeing that Spirit Taker happens, and as you can see, they barely got, almost, they're safe right now. Holy, it was close, but hey, I mean, Spirit Taker, it's kind of like medium sized if you want to think about it, and you just gotta be careful, you know. It comes with practice, so don't be too scared about it. And we're gonna see that, okay, like everything, all that is missing is the waters to solve, but also the half-room cleave. Basically, are we staying on this side of the map, or are we gonna cross, right? We're just gonna see that, okay, Spirit Taker solved, and you just wanna stack up. Water solve, and then tanks go do their stuff. Somber Dance, and then the Somber Dance again. EP. And that's Darklit Dragonsong. It's such a quick mechanic. It's in my opinion, it's a prior list. Like if you're a chain, no, okay, I go bait. Do I have the water? Yes, okay, wait, is the water on my safe side? Like yes, no, like what do we do, right? But for now, like this is with the chain. I'll try to see if I can get another one. So basically I had to re-record this because I forgot to mute the VOD, but anyway. So before Darklit Dragonsong like actually places the debuffs of like the light and the chains, we're gonna see that the water is already like spawning, right? We're gonna see it on the machinist, and you're gonna see it on me in this case. So once the mechanic is about to happen, we're gonna see that I get the water literally like a frame or two before it, and right here we're gonna see that everyone gets a thing, right? So I'm a water, I have no chain, meaning I need to check if the other water has a chain, and if I need to adjust to set a chain, because there might be a chance that this chain needs to adjust to the other side and basically making two waters on two sides, or the chain doesn't move and I need to adjust my Protean to go to the north side. So let's see what happens in this one. We're gonna see that there's a Vox. It's an ugly Vox. But with the Vox, we already know the east side, these two people are going to switch. Since I already know the east side is switching, that means I need to adjust too. So I immediately go for it. It's a really quick mechanic that comes with practice, so don't take it too hard on yourself. That's gonna happen. We bait the cleave. Same as before. Spirit Taker happens. Here's where I play it safe. I'm using my Cold Fury for content purposes. As away from the crystal. Make sure you give space for the tether people to be away from the crystal so you don't hit it. The crystal is actually bigger than it looks. That happens. Look for the half-room cleave. It's cleaving on the other side. Therefore, I stay on this side, right? If it was cleaving this side, of course, I would go towards the other half of the arena. So we just let water solve right here for people in each, and you're done. Somber Dance, Tank Buster happens, and you're basically done. Darklit, Dragonsong, for everyone else, basically ends right here. The tank needs to still do its Tank Buster, and then comes the Akmorns. And with this out of the way, the next mechanic is Crystallize Time, and let's move on with it. For Crystallize Time, we're gonna have multiple things to think about, but at the same time, what makes this mechanic difficult is the amount of debuffs that you can get. So basically there's wind with red, ice with red. You have the eruption, ice with blue. Well, basically eruption, one ice, one water, and one unholy, or the yellow one with blue. The other four have red. And I'm gonna go down the list. In this case, I want to start with some clips that I have. I'll link them down below in the case you need them. So right here from the get-go, I'm gonna be ice, red, and based on the prior list that we have right now, we have basically it's a rolls, and we basically have melee 1 will adjust, melee 2, then range 1, range 2. So in this case, I am melee 2, the other melee has the ice, so they're going towards the left side, I'm going towards the right side. As an ice red, you basically resolve the mechanic so quick, but it also has its things to look out for. First and foremost, I find this this line right here where I like to stand, as I depicted in yellow. The second thing I do is either look at this, at the purple tether, like if there's a purple tether in this one, or, which is also better that I use right now, if there's a person up towards north. If there's not a person up towards north, my movement changes. So basically I'm gonna be showing it on the next one, I think. But as of right now, let me explain a little bit. If over here, ice, right? I do not see a person over here, therefore I must not go north. basically I'll be going down towards like the east side. I am going down, but mostly towards the side. And over here, the other melee needs to go up towards the other person, because there's gonna happen a stack, but you already know that there's a person up, I must go up. There's not a person up, I need to adjust accordingly. How do I adjust accordingly? We're about to see. So the line I'm standing in, if you think you're not gonna hit the dragon, just move a little bit left or right if you need to, but it's gonna hit, you know, automatically. I pop sprint because I want to be fast enough that I can get away. And basically, you want to tuck into where this line met right here. You see that line where the circle and the outside meet? You want to go up a little bit, and you want to immediately go. Immediately go, because behind you there's going to be the early pop. We're doing crystallized early pop. I forgot to mention it, but there it is. After that, I am done with the mechanic. Popping, the ice got resolved, the pop got auto-resolved too. I managed to keep myself alive by adjusting or going up. In the other case, the melee needed to go up, take the stack away from the crystal, and then move up. You move up north, and then this mechanic is where the fun part starts. At least for the blue debuff people. So right here, as some red eyes, I'm just gonna go north. Wait for the everything to happen. Ooh, someone. And I cross the middle. I cross the Exa. I make sure I'm on north, because sometimes I don't remember like which circle is gonna go off, right? So basically I just keep myself alive there. So I cross the middle, I cross the Exa, I cross the other Exa, and since I know it came from the west side and north, I know the rewind spot, it has to be 1. Now Spirit Taker happens and I just get away. If you're close to the crystal and you manage to hit it, oof, GG. But hey, everything happens. But at least as of now, like, this wasn't like as clean as it was, but it was still like something happening. Let's look at the next one. Now, what if in this case the supports are going left side, right? The other ice is on the left side. I am ice on the right side. So what if now the purple is on my side? If you remember what I just said, I'm gonna go check of this person. If there's a person up, I'm going up. So we let the mechanic resolve. As you see, they're standing on the intersection, so they don't get clipped by my eyes, nor the early pop cleanse. Well, I mean, this is not even early. The early is the south part, but it gets auto popped. I move up, take the stack, and now the only thing that is left is go north. I go north because you want to be safe from either circle. You don't know, but play it safe. The X is gonna cleave half of this safe spot, so you just have to wait and chill. You cross it, and then you wait for the next one. It's like, okay, so I already know it came from west and north, therefore it's 1 again. Holy. And that's, you're done. As a red, you solve your mechanic, which is basically pop the dragon head and basically stay alive, and you're done. And in this case, again, you just spread, let Spirit Taker happen, and rewind happens. And that's basically the eyes on a little bit of an adjustment on east-west. Basically, eyes get solved on either side the same thing. The thing that you have to look out for is, of course, make sure you're in the relative west or east, depending on the prior system. You have to make sure that if there's a person up north, so I go join them. If not, I go find that specific spot. So let's go to another example. Okay, in this one, you remember how I said we have to like change based on the prior list, right? So we have DPS on the right side, but melees are going to adjust over range. In this case, the other range has the same thing as me. It has eyes in red. So therefore, I'm going towards the left side. And we do the same thing. This is like what happens when it's a mirror version. You stand on the line. I'm seeing that there's a person up top. If there was not a person up top, I would literally go towards this spot that is over here. You can barely see it, but that's the notion that you must have. I'm either going up or down. So in this case, I'm gonna go up because there's someone on top of me. And there we go. We solve the stack and we go north. We go north because we want exactly the circle to happen right here, and we want to get away from the Exa if there's an Exa spawn on us. So in this case, we're seeing that it spawned on east, right? So you're already thinking like, okay, it has to be 4-1 depending on where it spawns. It spawned on south. Okay, it has to be south. It must be south. We go south. And you just go across, put your rewind, and spread again. Since we're on the south side, we have a little bit more breathing room because there's no crystal on this side. And oh, someone got holy smudge. So be careful. So Thankfully, in this one, it did not win for the Vector. But, you know, you have to be careful that you don't want to get close to the crystal. Anything that hits the crystal that is not already pre-planned from the mechanic itself and not like player input, you basically win. So let's go to another example. Here in this example, I'm gonna be having wind and red, same prio system as before. If roll the DPS on the right side, supports on the left side. In this case, the other wind is on the left side. I think I forgot to mention, but with blue, there's no such thing as prio system. You just solve it based on your marker. But in this case, we do have a prio system because it's red. So wind, I'm on the right side because of DPS. The other wind is on the left side. I'm going southeast because southeast is on the right side, looking at north. So we go there, and we basically want to get away from south. You don't want to be near south. You can be close towards this opening right here where it meets both of them, because south is gonna explode first, and then you want to go in basically on this spot right here where they both meet. It's a small adjustment. So we're gonna do this thing right here. We're gonna let south pop. We move to the intersection. Water happens. You don't care about it. Everything auto resolves. Boom, send them away. I get away from south, and then I go in. It's such a quick thing. So right here, let's look it up again real quick. So southwest actually had the normal timer, so it's gonna explode. So as a rule of thumb, I guess, what you want to do is repeat it as if it's still going off. Even though your AoE is not going off, make it a habit to go south away from the explosion. If there's an explosion, even if there's not an explosion, make it a habit, and then run in and pop it. If you run in and pop it, most likely the popping is going to be at the same time, so you're not gonna get clipped by this. The puddle gets on 3 and 4. Make it a habit to come back to south, so you can solve the exit. You cross the middle, and now you find the other one. You saw it came from west and then from north, and you are going to solve it right here. We're going to 1. I actually have it wrong on the title. But yeah, there we go. We place a rewind away from the crystal, and you're done. Crystallize time is such a fast mechanic, but at the same time is like small steps, but you're solving it in different deals. Let's look at another example. For this one, I didn't get this clip, but someone else did. I'm on the southwest side because I had to adjust to my other DPS. Right, so I'm on the southwest side. So let's see what happens right here. I basically get away from south because I want to get clipped, you know, right here where it meets, and you know, I go where both meet. It's basically you're going from one meeting to another. So basically you let wind resolve, make it a habit to go south, right? Let it explode and then go up. Go up, you pop, go back south. Go back south and you start solving it. You cross the middle. You cross what if it's north or south. In this case, it's going to be 2 because you came from east and north. And you place your rewind. Once you place your rewind right here, you're basically done. But hey, that's about it. That's about it. The mechanic is done. Like, it's holy shit. Anyway, let's look at the next one. We're almost done. We're already looked up for basically the reds, which is ice and wind. We already covered east, west, if you're going up or not, depending with the ice, and you know, wind if you're southwest, southeast, if you have to, you know, move or not, but you know, still make it a habit to go south, right? So in this case, let's see what happens. Right now, I'm water and blue. Something that I recommend is make it something like this so you remember what it is, because like it happened to me. Even though I still had this, I forgot my cleanse, but you know, it's nice to have like a visual reminder of like where you're going. So in my case, I'm water. I click on it. I have it's a macro that sends an echo towards my own chat to say like, hey, I'm going towards the 3 marker, which is southeast, you know, 3 marker for the cleanse. So right here, right now, as a blue, no matter like what you have as a blue, you want to find the purple one that is tethered towards southeast or southwest. You want to go towards it, and you're gonna go together. Basically, this mechanic is together for the first half. So we're gonna happen. Water happens. Auto resolve. You stand in front of the wind person. You get knocked back, and you wanna stack up. Stack up away from the crystal. Usually, people like to stack up like outside of like this area, so you're more than safe of not clipping the crystal. You solve the stack, you go north. You go north because you don't want to get clipped by the circle if the circle is happening right now, which most likely will because you're starting on purple and you get knocked back towards the other purple, so it will get away from there, go north. And right here, personally, I like going right here before the exit happens if it's happening from the other side. Once that happens, you cross and I go towards my marker. Basically, I'm water, I'm 3, I take it, I move, and that's it. I reorient myself because I still have like 3 seconds for it. I place it, and then spread. Quick mechanic, but if you remember what I did is basically go towards the purple light, get knocked away, resolve the stack over there, you know, away from the crystal, go north, survive the exit line, go for your marker, be careful with it, and go place your rewind. You can solve it like that, or you know, you can actually cleanse later, but in my opinion, I'd rather cleanse it early so I don't get I don't forget about it, or you know, something else happens. So let's go towards another example. In this case, we have the yellow one, or Unholy, and basically the same thing. I'm a blue, this yellow one is always blue, the water is always blue, Eruption is always blue. The only one that has to like keep an eye out if it's your ice, you can be red or blue, so keep an eye on it. I see this yellow, I know I'm blue, I'm going towards the purple one. In this case, the purple is on southwest. We do the same thing as the other blues. You go towards the purple one, you solve the water, you want to get knocked away, and you want to stack up away from the crystal. You stack up and then you go north because you want to get away from the explosion. Wait for the exit. In this case, we go crossing, and then we find where we need to go. In my case, the Unholy is on D, so I go pick it up, and then I'm like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna like just walk. You know, it's such a quick mechanic. It's really tedious because like you think like you're going way too fast, but at the same time, it's like it will slow down with repetition. So reminder of what I did right here. We got knocked away towards northeast, towards the north side. We solve it away from the crystal. I'm going north, right here where the crystal is. Make sure that you don't get clipped. And as the Exa, I'm going towards the east side, right, where V is. So I go for it. I wait for the second one to happen, and I just go. I recommend sprinting again. You know, you basically don't need it anywhere else, and it's such a safe play. Once that is done, same thing again, Spirit Taker. You should let the rewind resolve. Let's look at another example. Now, this is the unique one, if you want to think about it. Like, blues, basically, you go together, right? But there's only one person that is not together, which is this person right here, the Eruption, the purple one. Purple one will always go towards the west side, which is D. So right here, purple, guess what? Goes to purple, but up there, let's go. So we're gonna, basically, I want to stand. You know how we saw the party stack near this intersection, right? It's basically the same. I want to stand here because I don't want to get hit by two things. I don't want to get hit by the north one. I don't want to hit the crystal, and actually 3, my bad. I don't want to get hit by the dragon head cleansing. I'm gonna be standing exactly right here. Like, it's big, but the crystal is usually a little bit bigger, so I was still safe. I could have stood like in here in thing, but hey, it was one of the first times that I was there. We solved the party stack, and guess what? Now we're on the same tempo as everyone else. Go north. Go north. Wait. I personally like waiting for the second exit line, and then I yeet it. I know that it's on D, so I just wait. You have to be patient. Right here, I use the gap closer because I can, but I still had time. I still had literally 2 seconds to get there. So if you were fast enough, you had a lot of time. Sprint is super useful here. So you just go and do it, spread, rewind happens, and you're done. As of right now, I'm missing an ice, but basically ice, it's the same thing as the other blues that I've been showing. Ice goes with Unholy and water towards south side, towards the purple one. They get knocked away, go north, travel through the middle, and find your marker. In this case, ice goes towards southwest. It's colored as 4, so maybe counterintuitive because of the color marker. Because Unholy is yellow, so it goes to B, it's yellow. Water, it's 3, so it goes towards blue, right? And purple, it's Eruption, D, it's purple, you know, D marker is purple. The only one that is like counterintuitive is ice, so you have to like make a mental note of that. And once that happens, Crystallize Time is done. This mechanic by itself, I didn't mention it, but the only thing that hurts from this mechanic is the person that is in front, the tank. Because everything else, you basically don't need a lot of things, because only half the part is getting hit. You basically get any damage. If you're topped off, you're more than good. If you want shields, you can be extra careful, but you basically don't need to put like a lot of mid on there. And once that is done, you're on to P5 if you kill them at the same time, you know, and if you couldn't do it, cast LV3 it, make sure you see P5 and you start up, you start progging on the next phase. But Crystallize Time is such a quick mechanic. What makes it difficult is having a lot of buffs to like go through, but once you get one buff, you're locked into a set steps. And learning those set steps is like the actual like hard part. But we're gonna see that with P5 how, you know, this mechanic is actually the last wall. Crystallize Time is the last wall before you actually clear. P5, we're gonna talk about it later, but for now, I hope that this was useful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.